down there. If I'm speaking too fast, I know sometimes when I'm excited, I speak very fast, and especially because I speak in a heavenly accent, some people from earth may not hear what I'm saying. So if you want me to speak slower, type there, speak slower, man of God. Acha kukibia. Anyway, let's read. An oracle concerning Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum of Elkosh. God's wrath against Nineveh. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord is avenging and wrathful. In other words, no matter how you try to whitewash God, say God is just love and kindness and he doesn't do anything that is, no, the Lord is a jealous and an avenging God. The Lord is an avenging and a wrathful God. That's what the book of Revelation is all about. Well, mostly, anyway. It's about vengeance. The Lord takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he keeps wrath for his enemies. He stores it up. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power. So that's another truth about the Lord. He is slow to anger, he is great in power, and the Lord will by no means clear the guilty. His way is in whirlwind and storm. And the clouds are the dust of his feet. Ding, 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 ding. What are the clouds? See, Holy Spirit expects you, Jesus expects you, when a statement is said, he expects you to search it out. It is for kings, and you are kings and queens. It is for kings to do what? To search out a matter. It is not for kings to wallow in cliches. It is not for kings to cherry pick verses here and there without knowing what they mean. It is for kings to search out a matter and to find out what it really means. It is for fools to run with everything that they hear without really, first of all, pausing and say, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Fools just run off. Wise people, the people of God, the elect of God, the righteous of God, the royal priest of God, they search out a matter until they get to the bottom of it so that they can know the mind of God. For the ways of God are not like the ways of men, and the thoughts of God are not like the thoughts of men. So why is it that when you hear Jesus is coming in the clouds, immediately you interpret it the way the weatherman on CNN will interpret it? So you are expecting to see Jesus on an actual cloud. Fortunately, some of you have flown airplanes that clear. So Jesus is not coming riding on the clouds of rain. No, the clouds are the dust of his feet. Remember that when you go to a place, beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news, but terrifying are the feet of those who brought good news and you rejected them, because now they will begin to shake off dust, declaring wrath, declaring judgment, declaring destruction. So what is the book of Revelation about? Mostly, the book of Revelation is about the execution of extraordinary wrath, page to page, chapter to chapter. In fact, you don't get to the point where you now begin to see grace and goodness and glory until you get to chapter 21. So for 20 chapters, you have dust. You have a whirlwind of wrath. You have God coming on the clouds. Not the physical clouds, but rather the meaning of the statement. The meaning of the statement. Utaona chemtamakuni. That is tongues. That's what was being spoken in Acts chapter 2. Only the people from Kenya, because they are the ones who can interpret the tongues, can tell you what I just said. You will see fire. Oh, I remember when I was a kid, and one day, well, not one day actually, because this is a true testimony. I used to be a pretty rebellious kid, believe it or not. I know you can believe it because here I am, always preaching things that are contrary to the norm. So that tells you what kind of a kid I was. Even if you see me smiling, you have to be aware. I was a rebellious kid. I cannot tell you why, but I was. So I didn't like going to school and I refused to go to school. And my father, he used to work very far away from home. And my mother was in the university in a totally different city. So it used to be just my father and my brother and I and a worker, a houseboy. And so every morning, the houseboy would prepare us, we would take a bath and everything. And when it was time for me to go to school, because I used to go to school at 11 a.m., I would tell him, I'm not going to school. He would be like, what? Yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to school. I was 7 years old. I was 8 years old. And so we used to have the old phone where you wind it up. So he would go to the phone and operator, who can I connect you with? And he would say, connect me with Dr. Magu. And he would say, the boy has refused to go to school. And my father would say, give him the phone. And my father would say, you better go to school right now. If you don't, you will see me. Of course, I would not. And so one day my father decided I have to stop, to make a stop to this. So he drove all the way from his clinic for about maybe 45, maybe an hour. He came and I saw him. When he came, I saw him. And I don't mean that I laid my eyes on him. I mean that my butt and my whole body saw him. My whole being perceived him. He came with such a fury, and he made me see him, what he had meant. You will see me. Now, you would imagine that the next day I would go to school. The next day at 11 a.m., I told the houseboy, I am not going to school. And he told me, see, you saw your father yesterday. I said, yes, but I'm not going. So he called my father again. Operator, how can I connect you? Connect me with Dr. Magu. He came again, and I saw him again. This continued for a while, and I kept seeing him every day. I hope you're getting the idea. Seeing somebody in most cultures does not necessarily always mean laying your optical devices upon their form. When we were in elementary school and grade school, I remember this, and some of you remember this. Bullies and schoolyard fights, right? And so the bully, you would insult them when the teacher was around. You would insult them when they could not get to you. And what would they tell you? You will see me after school. Oh, I can see you right now. And actually, you would say that. I can see you. What do you mean I'll see you? Ati utaniona. Sina kuona sahi. What did it mean when he said you will see me? This is the sense in which Jesus is using this statement. This is the sense in which John is using this statement. Of course, it's Jesus in Revelation 1:7. They will see him when he would return, because they had done certain things to him that needed to be recompensed. They had done certain things to his prophets that needed to be paid, to be accounted for. They would see him. In other words, the sense in which the word see is being used in Revelation 1:7 is not a matter of actually laying optical sight. Rather, it is a matter of mental perception, emotional understanding, full comprehension of the of what you did. So here, Nahum is prophesying to Nineveh. He doesn't use the word see here, but that the Lord is coming, and he's coming with the clouds. And the clouds are the dust of his feet. They will see him. Look at another one.